Welcome to Berlin, the Flux State, a society built on individualism and greed, a place where a smart Shadowrunner can make a name for themselves, as well as a hell of a lot of money. At least, that's what you thought, until the run went bad. One of your teammates is dead, the others being hunted like animals, and you in the middle of a conspiracy. Now, if you don't put a stop to things, everyone you know will drown in a sea of flames. Shadowrun Dragonfall is the sequel/expansion to the original Shadowrun Returns that moves the game overseas to Germany for an entirely new adventure and storyline. As before, you are a Shadowrunner with a shady past who uses their unique set of special skills in order to solve problems and complete missions for various clients. As with the previous game, you're free to use magic, misdirection, or just straight up combat in order to resolve the obstacles that you find in your path. Now, if Shadowrun Dragonfall was just a new storyline, there wouldn't be a whole lot to talk about. But as it turns out, it is so much more. Dragonfall is in a very substantial way the promise of Shadowrun Returns realized, where Returns had a number of problems or complications that left the game feeling somewhat underwhelming. Dragonfall fixes pretty much all of them. Every aspect of the game has been either enhanced or expanded. There are, for instance, new weapons that give you plenty of tactical opportunities in combat. There are also new magic spells and cyberware which you can use to upgrade your character. Your home base is now actually an effective home base, and you can go there in between missions to either swap out your equipment or just browse the message boards. However, probably more important than some of the new additions to the game are the adjustments that it makes to some of its core features. For instance, instead of having a roster of Shadowrunners that are all kind of interchangeable and just swap in and out of missions as you please, you now have a core team of Shadowrunners that are available to you on all missions free of charge. And while these core members have their own inventories and abilities and backstories, you're not restricted to them. You can swap in and out other characters as you please. Another example is the game's story structure, where the previous game had a very linear plotline with a few offhand missions in the middle. Dragonfall is almost completely different. 90% of the game is just you running missions and deciding how they turn out, which is another big change. There's a lot more choice this time around. Almost every mission provides you with multiple opportunities for different types of characters to shine. There's plenty of combat, but there are also plenty of dialogue options. There are options only available to sneaky characters or only available to magic users. Heck, almost every mission has some sort of hacking opportunity, which was something that kind of screwed me up the last time. Even the plot and the story is just so much more robust. It has such better delivery this time around. You know within the first 20 minutes who your antagonist is, what the stakes are, and what to expect in the climax. Shadowrun Dragonfall is the game that Shadowrun Returns wishes it could have been. Mechanically, they're almost identical, but it's the design of Dragonfall that sets it apart. Not only does it manage to deliver on almost all of the system's opportunities, but it either streamlines or mitigates a lot of flaws that the previous game had. Shadowrun Dragonfall is excellent. I give it 4 out of 4 stars and recommend it to anyone that liked Shadowrun Returns. Hell, even if you didn't like the previous game, if you thought it could have used a little work, Dragonfall might be just the refinement of that system that you're looking for. Alright, thanks for listening. Now if you'll excuse me, the Dragon Slayer calls, and it's best not to keep him waiting.